Yes, my people, I am live again. I'm live again. I jump in the car and I drive again. I arrive again. So, we're going to be looking into a few things today. We are going to be looking into some things today and very interesting things, you know, just to show you the kind of world that Islam was created in. Muslim will tell you that Islam begins with Adam, but as I show you, um, um, sometimes earlier this week, that Islam actually is a deception, and Muhammad could not get his deception straight. So you see where Muhammad says Abraham was the first Muslim. Then he said Adam was the first Muslim, and then he said he was the first Muslim. And we see how he could have never been the first Muslim, even in his time. He could have never been the first Muslim. So I have showed that. I think it was sometimes last week, late, like about Friday. I show you guys where Muhammad could have never been the first Muslim, even in his time. So we know that Islam is a deceptive cult, and we could see it from their own writing prove that their religion is nothing but a fraud. And but just to establish something here, I will show you. So I will show you again where Muhammad could have never been the first Muslim. So let me show you where Muhammad could never. Muhammad says that he was the first Muslim. And the Muslim will tell you that, oh, he mean that he was the first Muslim during his time. But we can show from the hadith that there is nowhere that Muhammad could have been the first Muslim. It doesn't make any sense, just to show you the kind of religion that we are dealing with. Incoherent, foolish religion. So let's just establish that to show that what we are dealing with, the kind of stupidity that we are dealing with. So here we are from the Quran. It is saying from Quran 39 verse 11 to 12, it is saying that Muhammad is the first Muslim. You can see that. I am commanded to be the first of those who are Muslim. See right here where he say that? I am commanded to be the first of those who are Muslim. But when you go down here, you see that that's a lie. Because Muhammad could never be the first Muslim. Narrated Abdullah, Allah's apostle, said that he met Zayd bin Amir Nufail at a place near Balda, and this had happened before Allah's apostle received the divine inspiration. Allah's apostle present a dish of meat that have been offered to him by the pagans to Zayd ibn Amr, but Zayd refused to eat it, and then said to the pagans, I do not eat what you slaughter on your stone altars and sabs, nor do I eat except that on which Allah's name have been mentioned and slaughtering. And this is, you could find that here. For the people who believe that you are making this up, all you got to do is just copy a part of it and put it into Sunnah.com, and you will see. You see that this religion is a deceptive religion, a very deceptive religion, and Muhammad could not get his deception straight. So here it is. So that was from my page, but Here I'm going to show you from Sooner.com, just for you guys to see that nothing we say here, everything that we say here can be supported, and we don't just run about making up stuff. So you guys see for yourself. Do you see that? I do not eat anything which you slaughter in the name of your stone idols. Do you notice this actually says stone idols? And what is in the Kaaba in Mecca? Stone idols, a stone idol. And we see where from the Hadith, it says we used to worship stones. I ate none but those things which Allah's name have been mentioned. So this man must have been a Muslim. So how is it that Muhammad is the first Muslim? It doesn't make any sense, does it? This is Islam for you, my friends, my brothers and sisters, and the Muslims who will ever, if there is any Muslim who will see this video, this is Islam for you. Islam is a nonsensical cult. So let's begin by saying all praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And as far as I am concerned, and logic is concerned, and the Almighty God is concerned, Islam is nothing but pure nonsense. It doesn't have a foot to stand on. Islam is like a chair. And that chair, something happened that chair lose its foot, its feet. And it's not a chair no more. So Islam is like a chair only have 1 foot. A chair with 1 foot. What do you do with a chair with 1 foot? You can't sit on a chair with 1 foot. How are you going to balance and be comfortable on a chair with 1 foot? Because this is what Islam is. That's totally what Islam is. So today we're going to share with you something. And if you notice, okay, remember this part here? That part right here? I want you guys to pay attention to this part right here. It says, in the name of your stone idols. And we'll look at this. We used to worship stones. Do you see it here? And what we find in the Kaaba right now, that these people are dying for. These people go there, and almost every year, hundreds of them die circling that stupid stone. And trying to kiss that stone, touch that stone, whatever part of their body they could put on that stone. Nonsensical. But anyway, let me show you something from a Dawa donkey. You know, you guys know why I call them Dawa donkeys. You know, the regular Muslim is, you know, I would not call a regular Muslim a Dawa donkey, but I am not afraid to call a Muslim out here trying to promote Islam a Dawa donkey, because that's what they are. But look at this. Here, listen to this Dawa donkey. So here is this man talking about Islam on wife beating. And we know that in the Quran, in Surah 4, verse 34, it says that you can beat your wife. You can talk to her, then stop sleeping with her. And if she persists in her whatever she's doing, you can beat her, strike her, beat her. And so this guy right here is talking about it. And listen what this Muslim is going to do. This Muslim clown.
For those women whose disobedience you fear, first admonish them, then part ways with them. And if that doesn't work, beat them.
All right, so what do we got here? We got a toothbrush.
And look at this clown. So this clown put up a prop, a toothbrush, a marker, and whatever this is.
pen, glue stick, and whoa! I definitely need those.
Do you see? This guy is a straight up donkey, a clown. Everything is so simple to him. And if you look at all the his video that I refuted, how simple-minded he is. He believes that he can just use one hadith, one verse of the Quran, and undo everything that people say. He don't realize that there are there are hadith that reveal more than what he is trying to reveal, and there are Quran verses that shows that Muhammad and his God have two mouths. One mouth is saying something here, and the other mouth is saying something there. And when he believes that he debunked what you're saying, then you realize that he didn't. He haven't debunked anything. So you will see him in his little prop and a little skit. I think he lives in California. This clown must be living in California, because only a clown from California behaves this way. The other clowns from the rest of the world, like the other Dawa donkeys, they don't behave too much like this. You know, Uthman ibn Farouk, how we put ketchup on his belly, you know, a prop, like a skit, like a movie, put ketchup on his belly, pretend that it as if it is blood, as if he'd been stabbed. This is the way this clown act. Props. You know, props and stuff like that. So watch this.
I see. You might wonder why these are good options for a Muslim man to use to admonish his wife.
So a toothbrush is a good option for a man to use to admonish his wife. If you look at the pen that I'm holding in my hand, if you can see this pen in my hand, maybe you can. Can this pen hurt a woman? Yes, it can. If I take this pen and I hit a woman on the fingers and stuff like that, any bony prominence, if you hit a person with this pen and any bony prominence, look what he have in his hand. And this is worse than the pen that I have. That's a toothbrush. I have a pen in my hand. He have a toothbrush. If you take a toothbrush and you hit any person, whether a man or a woman, on the back of their hand and the knuckle and stuff like that, and the bones, the elbow, anywhere there is bony prominence. When I say bony prominence, where the bone is more exposed to the surface, like on your thigh, you have muscle on your thigh. So the femur, the femur bone is not exposed. You have but your knee, you don't have any muscle per se where your knee is. So you have like tendons and stuff like that, ligaments and tendons and you know, cartilage and all this stuff in that area. But you have no true muscle in that area. So if you hit someone with a pen or a toothbrush on the knee, it will hurt them. What about the wrist? The wrist is the same. Those areas are called bony prominences, and even the shoulder blade up in the shoulder area, they call bony prominences. You could hurt a person with a toothbrush, but the guy got a toothbrush. I wonder if he's still using it, because it looked like, to me, like it needs to be thrown away. You could you need to get a new one. But anyway, so he says a Muslim man can use this to correct his wife. What a donkey. Then he believed that cannot hurt a woman. Yes, it can hurt a woman, and significantly hurt a woman to the point where that woman start hating your butt. He have a video on his channel that shows where he's showing that a woman run away to her home country with this Muslim man's children, and accuse him of abuse and file for child support. And this guy actually take the Muslim man's side, saying that the lady is lying. How does this clown know what happened inside the house of a woman when Muhammad actually says a man must not be questioned as to him beating his wife. Muhammad actually said that a man should not be questioned as to him beating his wife. So let's read something for you guys. I will show it to you. I was a guest at the home of Umar one night, and in the middle of the night, he went and hit his wife. So Umar went and hit his wife, and I separated them. Now tell me, any common sense person, tell me if on the table he have a marker, which is a pen, and he also have something else on the table. Now tell me now, if a man was hitting his wife in the way these clowns want to tell you, oh, you just tap her, would someone go and separate? Do you think that this man would have gone to separate, go to the length of trying to separate them if there was no harm done to the woman? So let me show you. So what you see here, it says that it says here, I separated them. What does that mean? That literally it seems like this man was abusing his wife, and the guests at his home have to stop him from abusing his wife. And who was this? Umar, Muhammad number 2 companion. His number 1 companion was Abu Bakr, and Umar was his number 2 companion. So his number 2 companion was beating his wife, hit his wife, and the house guests have to separate them. When he went to bed, he said to me, "Oh, Ashath, learn from me something that I heard from the messenger of Allah." Do you ever notice what they do? Always claim they learned something from the messenger of Allah. Look what he says. A man should not be asked why he beat his wife. And look what he tell him to do. And do not go to sleep until you pray. You have prayed the So he tell him, hey, you need to pray because you interrupt me beating my wife. Now, if the man didn't see abuse, or if it wasn't violently done, why would he separate them? If I was tapping my wife with what they call it, mishwak, mishwak. If I was just there tapping on my wife with a mishwak, like, baby, you need to listen to me when I speak, when I talk to you, listen, and the tapping like this, which is not harming her. Why would the house guests have to separate? I separated them. Why? And this is Sunan Ibn Majah, 1986. Now, this is how much love these people have for women. They have no love for women. No love whatsoever for women. That in the case where things are happening to women and all they can do is water it down. Water it down. So listen to him. Let's continue with him.
It's because the Prophet, peace be upon him, himself said in Sunan Ibn Majah 1851 that this should be done without causing injury or leaving a mark.
So look at this. It must be done without causing injury or leaving a mark. Oh, wow. So beat your wife without causing any injury. What kind of injury are you talking about? How would you know if something caused injury? There's soft tissue injury, and there is also broken bones and all this stuff. So if you want to tell me, if I beat my wife with this pen on her knuckles, And because you don't see no mark left and no sign of injury, that doesn't mean that I'm hurting her. Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful religion. The religion of a madman. Do you see that? You need a brain transplant, man. So the prophet said, without causing any injury. But we already know what's going on. We remember when Aisha says she have never seen anyone suffer as much as the believing women. After she saw a woman that was beaten to the point where her skin was green. And guess what? Muhammad was judge of the woman's case. And guess what? Muhammad said nothing to the man to stop that man from beating the woman that way. So after Muhammad died, these clowns go about and they invent all kind of stories to make it look like Muhammad says there should be no injury or no marks. But why is it that Muhammad never stopped that man from beating his wife and causing marks on her? And whether there are marks or no marks, you could still hurt a woman from beating her. But anyway, let's finish with this clown, because we know that Muhammad shoved Aisha in the chest violently to the point where she says, it caused me pain. In other hadith, it's she says, until it hurts. So we know that it's just a cover-up. All this is just a cover-up. But let's show you guys something that I wanted to show. So let's look at something. So here we are going to show you guys what is so disturbing about this stupid religion. You know, every day you find something new. So here we go. Every day you learn something new. So this right here is not something new, but look what used to happen in the time of Muhammad. So in the time of Muhammad, and this is Sahih Muslim 1456D, Muhammad and his men, they used to go on these expeditions, and they would go and they're gone for days. And what they would do, they would out there claiming they're fighting war against people who weren't even fighting against them. You know, they would go and say they're fighting wars and all this stuff. And what they would go there for, they would capture women and children. They would kill men, capture women and children, and they would rob these people. They would steal the belongings of these people, their camel, their whatever. They would steal what the people own, their riches, their camel, their food. They would steal it. And this is how Muhammad used to live. This is how he lived. This is how he make money. This is how he take care of his wife and his family. So here we have a hadith, and it says, this hadith have been reported on the authority of Abu Said al-Khudri, and they said they took captive women on the day of Atos, who had husbands. So these people have husbands. They were afraid to have sexual intercourse with them. So when the verse was revealed, so they were afraid to have sexual intercourse with the wives of the captured women, of the captured men. So they captured the men and their wives, and they were afraid to have sex with the captured women. But all of a sudden, here comes Muhammad. And the women already married except those whom you right and possess. So now they capture these women, so they own these women, and now they can have sex with them. So now they can have sex with these women. So they leave their wives and they go on these hunting expedition. to rob and steal from the neighboring communities. And when they want to have sex, here all of a sudden, here is a verse. It's okay. You can have sex with these women that you captured. And the funny thing is, there's something going on at home. So while Muhammad was doing all that, there was something going on at home. Something major going on at home. Something major was going on at home. So here is another here is another incident. Where this incident here was when Muhammad men wanted to have sex with captured women, and Muhammad told them that they could actually have sex with the women, ejaculating them, and still sell them as slaves. So this incident you see right here, I will prove that in a minute, where he says Abu al-Qadri mentioned was about Allah's, if I'm pronouncing it right, in the presence of Allah's messenger, may peace be upon him, whereupon he said, why any of you practice it? And if you notice what this is actually withdrawal. I hope there's no kids around. Withdrawal of the penis before ejaculation. And watch what Muhammad is saying, that so these people want to practice this with the slave, with the captured women. And Muhammad is saying that why any of you practice it? For there is no created soul whose creator is not Allah. Let me show you that this is actually talking about captured women. Let me show you. Notice this. Abu Said al-Qadri, and this one is Abu Said al-Qadri. Same person. Watch this. We went out with Allah messenger, may peace be upon him, on the expedition to Bai al-Mustalik, and we took captive some excellent Arab women. Wow. Talk about them like they're talking about horses. And we desire them, for we were suffering from the absence of our wives. So here it is. Muhammad took these men from their home to go fight in his concocted wars and his to ravish and raid and steal from his neighbors. And these men have sexual desire because they have been away from their wives for a while, and they still wanted to sell the women. So look at it. They still wanted to sell the women. So we decided to have sexual intercourse with them by observing us, and this withdrawing the male sexual organ before emission of semen to avoid conception. But we said we are doing this act whereas Allah's messenger is amongst us. Why not ask him? So we asked Allah's messenger, and he said, it is better if you do not do it. Do you see that it is the same incident? For every soul that is to be born up to the day of resurrection will be born. So do you see the craziness of the way Muhammad, the idea that Muhammad have of a woman in his mind, that you could have sex with a woman, ejaculate in them, and still ransom them or sell them as slave. A matter of fact, another translation says, we were interested in their prices. So they were interested in selling these women as slaves, but at the same time, they want to have sex with the woman. Muhammad said, okay, go ahead, and don't worry, because you can't get them pregnant. There's a miracle, and you cannot get them pregnant. There is no way you can get them pregnant. Do you see how evil Muhammad was? So these men, the children of these men, possibly be born in slavery. They sold the women, and their children are born after that, because guess what? They did not withdraw before ejaculation, on the advice of Dr. Muhammad. But why I'm saying this is to show you that these men were out there under the commandment of Muhammad and were having a field day, robbing and stealing and murdering and plundering people, and at the same time having sex with the people's daughters and their wives. But look what happened. Look at what happened. So while they were out there having a field day, and do you know, remember what Muhammad said about women? You remember what Muhammad said about women? Let's share what Muhammad said about women so we can show you what we are trying to get to. So while he was out there, he and his companion having fun with women, according to their kind of fun, halal fun. Having halal fun with these women at the expense of these women, while they were having halal fun, these people life, messing up other people's life, destroying communities. Here is what Muhammad think about women. Narrated Abu Sayyid al-Khudri. Oh man, Abu Sayyid al-Khudri been saying a whole bunch about this clown Muhammad, man. The Prophet says, isn't the witness of a woman equal to half of that of a man? The women said yes. He said, this is because of the deficiency of a woman's mind. That means a woman have deficiency in their mind. Let's show you guys the deficiency of, while they were out there having fun with all these women, halal fun, with all these women that they captured, quote unquote, halal fun, with all these women that they captured, let's show you what was going on in their home. In their home. What was going on in their home when they leave their wife alone? In their home. The wife is like a dog searching for bones in their home. In their homes. Let me show you what happened in their home when they leave their wife alone. In their home. When Muhammad like a bulldog ready to roam. Let me show you what happened in their home. In their homes. So let's show you what happened in Muhammad caused to happen in the home of his men. While they were out there frolicking like donkeys and jumping around, look what was happening in their home. Muhammad created monsters. Turned the women into monsters. So why these half-brain women, while Muhammad was all over the world, and remember Muhammad say the witness of a woman is half that of a man because she's not intelligent. Look what these not intelligent women were doing. So we go, and our sister Atuntash will reveal to us what half-brain people can do. Let's see what half-brain people do.
دلوقتي افرض فرضنا ان شخص
Suppose a man is away for 4 years
مسافر الى دولة ما السعودية
to Saudi, for example. So this man left and went to Saudi, for example.
غيره لمدة 4
For 4 years.
سنوات لم يعاشر زوجته
He had no relationship with his wife, no relations with his wife. So for 4 whole years, he have no relations with his wife.
ولم يجامعها ولم يلمسها
And he had not touched her at all.
من أصله. رجع
He returned after 4 years to find his wife pregnant. Wow. What a wife, what a wife, what a wife, what a wife, what a wife. What a dirty life. What a wife, what a wife, what a wife, what a wife, what a wife. What a dirty wife. For the capturing of women, they sacrifice. Having sex with another man's wife while someone having sex with their wife. Watch this.
بعد 4 سنين لقى مراته حامل.
So he returned after 4 years to find his wife pregnant. Wow. She must be worse than an elephant. 4 years pregnant. Wow.
قال لها إيه ده؟
He asked her, what is this? With an exclamation sign.
قالت له ده ابنك.
She told him, that's your son.
هل يصدقها؟
Should he believe her?
جاوبني.
Answer me. And look, listen to the answer.
في الشرع
The guy answering, in Sharia, it tells him, yes, believe her. Wow. The religion of donkey. The religion of donkeys, man. What a life, what a life, what a life, what a life, what a life. While you're out there capturing somebody's wife, somebody at home sleeping with your wife. What a life, what a life. You see, karma is something, man. Karma will come around and grab you by the gonads, like the womb grab Allah by the gonads.
يقول له صدقها. صدقها؟
Believe her, yes. Do you see that? You could see it for yourself. He said, yeah, you should believe her. And this is a man living the 21st in the 21st century. Watch this.
نعم. البشرية
Many as varied circumstances. I can't see back here, but he says, oh, humanity. Humanity has varied circumstances. Wow. What a new scientist. We need to he need to write a book so we could study that in nursing school. And when I'm doing my CEU continue education unit, I could ask for his profound knowledge.
واسعة الأحوال متغامية الأطراف رصدت.
It is mentioned 4 years.
4 سنوات. نعم. مش في السيرة.
Is that in Sirah? Historical tradition? Wow.
أعلام النبلاء.
Sivar Alam Hal Nubala by Sheikh Al-Darabi book. So you're asking a question.
للشيخ الذهبي. أيوة ده أنا ضربت بيها.
He said, yes, I use that as an example.
مثلا وغير. فالإمام الشافعي راصد.
What he says here, I can see the word Shafi mentioned 4 years. Wow. Imam Shafi mentioned 4 years, that a woman can be pregnant for 4 years. Man. I think the last time I looked, an elephant can be pregnant for like 15 months or something like that. I think so. The last time I looked. And and a woman can be pregnant for 4 years. Wow. When my baby come out, my baby got teeth ready to ready to eat some Jamaican dumpling and some curry goat and rice and drink a bottle of camel urine.
4 سنوات أمامه في كذا، وضرب مثالا بامرأة محمد بن عجلان.
Hold on, let's go back. I think he's galloping too fast. I didn't read that part. Let's go back. He's galloping real fast right there. Okay. So he said it happened in his lifetime. I think he's talking about the Muhammad. He said it happened in, I wanna catch that part right there.
رجع بعد 4 سنين لقى مراته حامل. قال لها ايه ده؟ قالت له ده ابنك. هل يصدقها؟ جاوبني. في الشرع بيقول له صدقها. صدقها؟
نعم. البشرية واسعة الأحوال متغامية الأطراف رصدت 4 سنوات.
نعم. مش في سير أعلام النبلاء للشيخ الذهبي؟
أيوة، ده أنا ضربت بها مثلا. وغيره. فالإمام الشافعي راصد 4 سنوات أمامه.
In front of him, he saw it. So the Imam, Chef Shafi, said he saw that with his very own eye. In front of him, he saw it.
في كذا وضرب مثالا.
And he gave an example.
بامرأة محمد بن عجلان.
The wife of Muhammad bin Aglan.
لكن حدث في عصره.
It happened in his time that doctors record this. Wow.
أن رصد الأطباء هذا. الست.
The woman get pregnant and feels the baby kicking. Wow. So she got pregnant and she feel the baby kicking. Wow.
بتحمل وبتحس بالولد وبيضرب وبيرفص برجليه. وقعد في بطنها.
And the baby stays there 2 years. Man, can you imagine? A woman is pregnant with a 9-month-old baby, and at 7-month-old, that baby kicks so hard. Can you imagine what a 2-year-old Oh my God. My son is like 2.5 years old. Can you imagine? My son is still in my wife's womb kicking. Man, that would not be a pretty sight. He would have ruptured her spleen, her liver, her kidney. Man, then he says, and the baby stays there 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Wow. My son is just 2.5 years old, and that boy is so rough. Can you imagine a 4-year-old child inside of a woman's belly kicking? When he kick, her spleen would be ruptured. She would have internal bleeding and die from it.
2 و3 و4 وخليت.
And she gave birth to him alive with a beard.
وخلفته حي وخلفته ميت.
And sometimes she gives birth to him stillborn. Wow. So a woman is pregnant for 4 years, and the baby stay in her 4 years, and she give birth to the baby stillborn. So for 4 years, the baby in the inside. Oh. Wow.
وما ولدتوش فماتت.
And sometimes she didn't give birth and died. These guys.
بالسبب ده والمرأة تموت.
If a pregnant woman dies, she is counted a martyr. Wow.
جمع شهيدة. كل ده حصل وكل ده قدام الناس وشافوه.
all they witness is with their own eyes. So all the people witness it with their own eyes.
عينها. طيب الست جابت
If a woman gives birth after 4 years,
ده بعد 4 سنوات يبقى
it says something here. I can't see what it says. Would I accuse her of adultery? So he says, if a woman give birth after 4 years, would I accuse her of adultery? Let's see what this guy would say and see what kind of brain we're working with. If he need a brain, he's on the transplant list for a brain transplant list. But it seems like he's getting, man, we need to move him up on the list because he's number 5 on the brain transplant list right now. We need to move him up because he's about to say something right now that require him to be at number 2 on the brain transplant.
اتهمها بالزنا. ادي بقى كانت الفتوى.
The fatwa was,
وادي الناس اللي
if people want to object, they are objecting to scholars scholars consensus. Wow.
عايزين يعترضوا يبقى يعترضوا على الائمه فيما يقولون.
They say no to accusing her. Wow. I would like, man, we just move him up to number 3 on the brain transplant list because he's saying they say, but not his own belief. Look at the guy. The guy is appalled. Like, is this happening in my day? So now, my friend, what is this telling us? If people were so stupid in the days of Muhammad, no wonder this stupid religion was cherished by them and flourished. No wonder it flourished and it was cherished by them because people were stupid back then. The people living in that who was around Muhammad, they were stupid. It seemed like they were very stupid people. We remember this guy said before Islam, he was coming and he saw the monkeys ready to stone a female monkey for committing adultery. And he said, I too help them to stone her. This is the kind of people that had this religion. This religion was given to naive people. And now in today's era, people are following this religion. Can you imagine this? Man, that guy need a brain transplant, man.
So that is a short video where it has been expressed that woman can be pregnant for 4 years if anyone accuse her of adultery. Then you are simply disagreeing with the scholarly view. Daughter of Christ, do you want to just summarize the video for us?
Yeah, so this is not just any sheikh. This is the Grand Mufti of Egypt. His name is Ali Goma. He's still the head Mufti of Egypt. And he's saying things that are really in Islam. He mentioned Shafi'i. Shafi'i is one of the 4 main schools of thought in Islam, and others, as you'll see. Basically, scholars.
Do you want to see something? Look at this. I'm sorry to interrupt, Daughter of Christ. Look at this comment right here by Phil 2 verse 10. Out of the womb into first grade. Look at somebody says, Gospel Edge says, these guys should be counted as half-bred women according to Islam. No, these women, this guy should be counted as 1/8 of a brain. Because if a woman who have only half of a brain, according to Islam, can brainwash these men back in the days of Muhammad to that point, see how gullible the society was. You just could see how gullible the society was. The stupidity that Muhammad says, the stupidity that was happening in the time, you see the kind of gullible society that it was. The intelligence of the society was not very good. The people living in those days were not very good. And this is why Muhammad steals different things from all over. This is why you see different pieces of this from all over, because when Muhammad started traveling and exposed to certain things, it was he didn't know what to do with it. He just grabbed this piece, grab this piece, grab this piece, and he make it into a Jamaican stew where you throw some chicken foot, you throw literally, there's a stew in Jamaica. You get some chicken feet, you clean it, you cut it up, throw some chicken feet in it, you throw the back of the chicken in it, you throw this in it, that in it, that in it, and you end up with a stew. And this is seemed like what Muhammad was doing. He take a little piece from there, take a little piece from the Jews, take a little piece from the Christian, take a little piece from the pagan over there, take a little piece from that people, take a little piece, and he just throw it all into one thing and make a mashallah. This is how crazy it is. It's a light of Christ said, Allah snack bar. He should believe her. Do you see this religion, man?
Scholars have agreed that pregnancy can last 2 years, 3 years. He mentioned 4 years. He said that people witnessed this. People at the time recorded this, which is obviously a lie, either a lie or something false happening there. But they accepted it. And it still applies to today that if any woman claims this now, Muslim woman, should not be accusing her of adultery.
That is, I know. Let's give them the reason of the doubt. Maybe it only happened to Muslim women. Maybe only Muslim women can be pregnant for 4 years. Maybe it's just a Muslim thing that Allah's snack bar. Allah is snack bar so much that Allah can make only Muslim women pregnant for 4 years until their husband come back. The husband went off on a journey to Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts, and he will be gone for 4 years, and he got her pregnant, and when he come back, the baby is just being born. Like somebody called him and said, "Oh, come home quickly, the 4 years are up and your child is about to be born." And he take a plane and he fly to Egypt, and just in time, 4 years to see his baby born. Baby come out with the teeth, ready to eat camel meat.
That's basically the summary.
This religion, man.
4 years is not that long, isn't it?
4 years is a long time. I can't remember what I did last year at this time. So to be carrying a baby for 4 years, I don't think it's biologically possible for human beings, for the human race. So for sheikhs to be sitting there and talking about this like it's a normal subject, it just blows my mind. It shows how easy lying comes to sheikhs. Can sit there and say, yeah, people saw this with their own eyes.
But that's like something very common. That's something very common. We get to hear and see Muslims simply would look into the camera and then they would lie. They would look into the eyes of their kids and then they would lie. So, am I correct to say medical science tells us woman is pregnant just over 9 months?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and am I right to say that if you don't have the medical help, even if you have the medical help, if wife gives birth within 7 months of the pregnant, life of baby is in danger. And then if wife gives birth to a baby just who is like over 9 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we researched this. Before 7 months, if she gives birth early, so we're talking 6-7 months,
Yeah.
babies mostly die. Even with modern medical science incubators, some survive, but they make the news if they're that early.
Okay.
And after 9 months, if you're going into 10 months, then babies they start becoming in a danger of dying. They need to induce them. They need to do cesarean sections, open up the mum, and do surgery to bring the baby out, or baby dies.
And she's speaking the truth. I am a nurse. I know these things. After a certain time, it is a danger to the mother and a danger to the child for the child to be in the womb. So they would 2 ways they would do things, either by a C-section or by inducing labor. And most of the time it's C-section, because they got to get that child out like quickly, because it passed the due date. And when it passed the due date, it is dangerous for the mother. Very dangerous for the mother, and also dangerous for the child. So I don't know. Allah got a different version of science that is way way. We are not there yet. We are not there yet at all.
So here is a hadith, comes from Islamic tradition, talking about a woman who was pregnant for 6 months.
Yeah.
And conversation is like, hadith is talking about, so she was pregnant for 6 months, give birth, and then she was accused of committing adultery. Then she was supposed to be stoned. From that, Ali comes, and then Ali says, oh, actually, no, like according to Islamic tradition, this is acceptable. Uthman wants to bring the woman back, but it is already too late, that she's been stoned to death. Because
And do you see the kind of society they were living in? So a woman pregnant for according to them, the woman pregnant for 6 months and gave birth. If a child is born at 6 months, what condition do you think a 6-month baby is going to be in if the baby is born at 6 months? It's a premature baby. And in those conditions, back in those days, that baby is going to die. And you could tell if a baby is premature, if a baby is full. Even without science, you could tell if a baby is full term or premature. You could just look at a child and tell if this child is premature or full term, all terms, 9 months. You could tell by the looks of the child. You could tell the skin texture, everything. You could tell by the child. So so what condition was the child born in? So let's read this for you guys. Malik reported to me that he had heard that Uthman ibn Affan was brought a woman who had given birth after 6 months, and he ordered her to be stoned. Do you see how evil the society was? How do they know what was the how do they know what time the man and the woman get together? Did they have those evidence? I don't know. Ali ibn Abi Talib said to him, she does not deserve that. Allah, the Blessed, the Exalted, says in his book, their carrying and weaning is 30 months. So their carrying and weaning is 30 months. And Surah 46, ayah 15, and he said, mothers suckle their children for 2 full years. So for 2 full years, the mother suckle their children. And if the weaning is 30 months, then the child, these people have no clue what was going on. So according to Ali, the weaning is 30 months, and the mother suckled the child for 2 years. So 2 years from 30 months, how much is left? 6 months. Yeah, because 2 years is 24 months. 24 months. And you take 24 from 30, you have 6 left. So wow. So Ali actually believes that a woman is only pregnant for 6 months. This is how naive these people were, man. Mother suckle there for 2 full years for whosoever wishes to complete the suckling. Surah 2, Ayah 233. Pregnancy can then be 6 months, so she does not deserve to be stoned. Wow. Man, Ali was very bright. What a very bright guy, man. If he was here around here, he deserves a medal. Uthman ibn Affan sent for her and found that she had already been stoned. Do you see how careless they were? They didn't even use the best of the brain that they have to try their cases. Because Ali could overturn, Ali's judgment could have overturned or stoning, but she's already stoned. Malik related to me that he asked Ibn Shihad about someone who committed sodomy. Oh, that's a different story. Ibn Shihad said he is to be stoned whether or not he is Mushan, whatever that means. But that's a different story.
Because even 6 months considered as wrong, not wrong, like not acceptable.
Yeah, 6 months is very short. In Arabia, they wouldn't have had neonatal units. They wouldn't have had incubators or medical help. So baby would have died. I say,
look at that. My sister know it, man. My sister know it. Yeah, the baby would have died under the condition in that kind of society. The baby would have died at 6 months. If it wasn't for neonatal care that we have now in this modern world, you know, baby at 6 months old, born at 6 months old, while they were 6 months, would die because they need their lungs are not fully developed to the point where they can manage their own breathing. They need to be in a certain temperature, like they are still in the womb. They literally need to be in something that's similar to the womb.
this lady wasn't 6 months. This lady was at term at 9 months, and she'd committed adultery in those 3 months of contention. So I agree with the person that said she committed adultery.
So man and woman gets married, they become husband and wife. Let's say they just had a sex. Expectation is woman will be pregnant and give birth to a baby in coming next 9 months. In this occasion, she's giving birth to a child in 6 months. Therefore, assumption is in the past she slept, or not slept, sorry, she had sex with someone who wasn't her husband.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. So
Okay.
6 months it's too short.
Okay.
But do you see the craziness there? So in this case, they stone the woman because they think the time is too short, so they stone this woman. Uthman ordered for her to be stoned because they look at it as, oh, that her pregnancy is too short. But then when her pregnancy is too long, she's not stoned. Her pregnancy is 4 years and she's not stoned. Why? because they have no clue how long pregnancy should last. And if Ali had talked to Uthman earlier, quicker, that woman would still be alive.
So I just wanted to first get that out. And so what we will do is first we go to some of the Islamic sources and then see how the question has been asked. People, of course, Muslims were curious about how this happens. They asked the question, how long woman can be pregnant? But if you just go back to the video we watched, so what's happening in the video is, let's say your husband moved to the Saudi Arabia. Example was good because in Saudi, lots of things is happening. Very creepy country, that country. So your husband is there, and then when husband comes back, you've got the baby, and then you say, this is the baby we made before
you left 4 years
before
ago.
you left 4 years ago. So she's been pregnant for 4 years. It's not like she gave birth yet, okay? She's still carrying that baby in her tummy.
Yeah.
4 years. Can you imagine, like 4 years she's with you?
So the crazy thing is, while Muhammad and his men were out there and their escapade and doing their stupidity and acting like a clown, the women were taking the women were doing their clownery too, because they were out there capturing women, having sex with women. So what these women were doing, they too were having their halal fun. Because if it wasn't halal, how can you be pregnant for 4 years? If it wasn't considered halal fun, you could never be pregnant for 4 years. Who in their right mind could believe that a woman can be pregnant for 4 years and the baby born alive? Who is their right? Who is this? But nobody but Abdul. Nobody but Abdul, man. And this is how gullible the religion starts, from gullibility, and it continues from gullibility. So this is the hadith that was shown, where the woman was pregnant after 6 months. This is the hadith right here, and it just say 41 Uhud, Hudud. So that's the hadith that was shown there. In case the Abdul say, they're just making up stuff as they go along. You know, they cry baby Abduls. Can you imagine that, man? Can you imagine that? What a catastrophe. Let me see if anybody say anything interesting that we need. Actually, either English or the... So brothers and sisters in Christ, pray for that guy. So yeah, that's a good idea. That's a beautiful idea. Pray for him to come to the reality and stay away from this crazy religion. This religion of stupidity.
Eating lots of things. There are lots of side effects of that. But anyway, we are not going to touch that, I think.
When the baby come out, do you give him milk or do you give him a plate of chicken wings? At 4-year-old, do you give him about 6 chicken wings and a slice of Jamaican ardo bread, or do you give him some milk? Can you imagine that? That baby breastfeeding. How do you breastfeed a baby like that? that baby come out, man, shouting Allah Akbar, ready to cut off your neck.
Yeah, that poor husband. Been in Saudi for 4 years, working hard for the family. Comes home, oh, we made the baby before you left. No, that lady was unfaithful during that time. Sorry.
Well, not according to you, not according to Islam, sister.
Yeah. And by the way, according to Islam, if he then accuses her of adultery, he gets whipped.
Yeah.
Because accusing a woman of adultery, if she's virtuous, he gets 100 lashes on his back.
Wow. Do you see the society? Do you see the society? If he come home and said, my wife had cheated on me because she is pregnant and I've been gone for 4 years, they would beat him. What a beautiful religion. Beautiful religion. There is no religion like that religion, like that religion. Wow. A backward religion, man.
So let's first go one of the Muslim scholar who is going to tell us actually woman can be pregnant for 5 to 10 years. Okay? So woman is like has something on her tummy for 5 years to 10 years.
If she has doubt about pregnancy, she should wait 4 to 5 or 7 years, depending on the different narration of our scholars. If the child is to remain in her womb 5 years, he may remain for 10 years or more. Wow. When he should be going to college, he's just being born when he should be off to college. As soon as he's born, you'll be like, boy, it's time for you to go to college. Can you imagine this, man? Is this a religion? This is donkeyism, man. And then it says, and Malik narrated similar to this. What a catastrophe. What a beautiful, beautiful religion. Stay far away from this religion. This religion, you got to stay far. Because all it's good for is foolishness and war. This religion, you got to stay far, or else it's gonna leave you with a permanent scar. This religion, you better run straight to Jesus Christ, open arm, you better come. And when in Jamaica, we just beat the kete jump, let me hear the sound. Beat the tambourine and...
So you just like put this in a practical side, okay? You had sex with your husband 5 years ago, and since then you are pregnant. If you think more practically, so you have sex and then you've got 5 days for for your body to develop the baby. 5 days, okay? After 5 days, that sperm dies and you can't have the baby from that sex. And then you need approximately 6 weeks to figure out if you are pregnant or not. This is like biology 101. I'm sorry to talking about such a topic, but this is biology 101. So 6 weeks after your sex, you will find out if you are pregnant or not. And then that baby start developing in the tummy of the woman for 9 months, and then baby will come to the world. That's how it happens in like medical world or in reality.
Yeah, reality. In the non-Islamic world.
Yeah. So in Islamic world, you go to a man called Qurtubi, who is well-known Muslim scholar.
Yeah.
He makes these amazing statements. And please remember, he's not like someone who just was walking on the street and never seen anything in his life, but he's a scholar. And this scholar tells us woman can be pregnant for 5 years, and some of the other scholar has a similar view. Daughter of Christ, do you want to read this Arabic for us?
Yeah, so this is Qurtubi 65, Surah
Verse
65, verse 4. I've made the arrows. So the line on the top, it says, if the woman has doubts about a pregnancy, she should wait 4 years, 5 or 7 years, depending on the different narrations of our scholars.
Okay, so let me just understand that. Remember, like sometimes I struggle to understand. While Qurtubi gives us the tafsir for Surah 65, verse 4,
Mhm.
he says, if you are not sure if you are pregnant or not, because you've been divorced, Surah 65, verse 4 is about this magical verse about child marriage and divorcing the child, underage, not child, actually kids. He's telling us, now you've been divorced and you are not sure if you are pregnant or not.
Yeah.
So just to show you guys that the two sisters are actually quoting from real site and not something that they make up. So let's show you that they're not making up anything. They are actually quoting from Islamic sources. So let's show you guys that they are not just making up stuff. So for the people who speak Arabic, here is where they are quoting from. And because daughter of Christ knows Arabic, she speaks fluent Arabic, she's able to translate what this means. So this is where they're coming from. And it's crazy. Like literally crazy. Man, they need a brain transplant. That's what you call in need of a brain transplant. And elsewhere we'll see again. And we know we don't speak Arabic, but for the people who speak Arabic, just to show you that there's no lie being told. And here again, here is another place where Al-Kutubi is giving his take. He's giving his take on the verse about marrying prepubescent girls. The verse about you can marry to prepubescent girl. This is his take on that verse. So Al-Kutubi, and in Arabic. So this is where they actually speaking from. So you know that they're not telling any lies, brothers and sisters. They are speaking the truth, because this is what Christianity do. We speak the truth. We might be making fun of the truth of Islam, but we speak the truth of Islam.
So there are the ways you can figure out you are pregnant or not. You wait a couple of months to see if your tummy is gonna get bigger, if you are bleeding or not. In this occasion, a scholar tells us, okay, you've got to wait 4 years or 5 years or 7 years to figure out if you are pregnant or not. So you might be married with someone after 5 years, and then 2 years later you are giving a birth to a baby who was from your previous husband 7 years ago.
Well, remember, sister, this verse is about waiting periods for women. Yeah. Like you said, there's the children, and then there's the ladies who are too old to menstruate, and then this is for the pregnant group.
Yeah.
So some people said, well, we're not sure if we're pregnant yet. So this is to tell them how long they should wait to be sure. A doctor would tell you to wait 6 weeks, and they do a pregnancy test. But back in the day, the Qurtubi will tell you 4 years, 5 years, 7 years. That's like most of someone's life.
So much for the Quran and science, man. So much for the Quran and science. This is, do you see what this brother say right here? He said, LOL, science of debunked. So much for science. And this brother here says, this is funny right here. He said, wow, getting so much smarter. Did not know pregnancy could last so long. This is amazing. What a religion. Can you imagine? I've been to school for several times for different things, but I've been to school for over 2 years to be a nurse. And then after getting out of school, I'm gonna be a Muslim. I'm gonna become a Muslim. Even if I didn't know nothing about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, after getting out of school, I'm gonna become a Muslim. For what?
Like people would die in these times. It's very, very long.
No, it's not only that people will die. Like 7 years, you turn up to someone after 7 years you've been divorced, and then telling him, Habibi, remember, this is the baby we made under the like stars or something.
And
Yeah.
And Maury would say, you are the father. After 7 years, Maury said to you, you are the father. You'd be like, what? Maury, you crazy?
So you could
7 years ago, like just
go back to that first guy 7 years ago. Depending on which scholar, it could be 10 years ago and say, I made a baby. Well, actually, we made a baby 10 years ago. Here he is. You need to pay for him. He needs to take your name.
yeah.
And the scholar will back you up.
Do you see that comment? Baby will pay taxes immediately. The baby born paid taxes. Because he says 10 years or more. 10 years or more, man. Can you imagine? Your wife give birth to a 10-year-old baby. Come out, be like, I need something to eat. As they were born, as soon as he's born, he said, I need something to eat. You looking like, what?
Yeah.
And in the next bit I highlighted, sister, he's trying to explain this nonsense. He says, وهو الصحيح, and this is true, لأنه إذا جاز أن يبقى الولد في بطنها 5 أعوام, because if the baby can remain in her for 5 years, جاز أن يبقى 10. He may remain there for 10 or even more than that, وأكثر من ذلك. And he quoted Malik. Malik is what the Maliki school of thought. Again, one of the 4 main schools of thought of Islam.
Tell me this is not a cult. This is a cult, man. A stupid backbush. In Jamaica, they would say a backbush. This is in Jamaica, they would say when something is crazy and uncivilized, they say, man, that's from the backbush. That's backbush. Meaning it's from the way back into the uncivilized remote. Oh, wow, man.
So baby stays in the tummy of the woman, tummy of the mother, for 5 years.
5 years.
And up to 10 years.
Yeah, up to 10 years, sorry.
There's someone called Truth Only here. He says, please read the Arabic and stop reading it out of context.
Oh, I just thought you read it.
Yeah, shall we read it again?
Do you see how deceptive the Muslims are? So, an Arabic-speaking woman translate it, and actually she just read the Arabic, and the guy is saying that please read the Arabic and stop mistranslate or whatever. Do you see how funny these clowns are? Funny people, man. They want to believe in this stupid religion so much that they gave up their brain to the point where they can't use it no more. It's crazy. So all this thing were happening while Muhammad take his men on these expedition, capturing women and having sex with strange women out there. The men were having out there doing all kind of, the women were back home doing all kind of hanky panky in the garden, in the man, all over the world they were doing hanky panky, while Muhammad was out there having halal sex with captured women. The women say, hey, we're gonna come up with our own religion at home, and our religion is called pregnancy for multiple years. So the women make up their own religion, and because the men were so gullible, they believe in it, to the point where this guy is saying that a woman could be pregnant for 10 years. Man, so you're in jail. So like, say for example, you something happened, you end up in jail, you get 10 years in jail. When you come out, your baby could be born while you come out. When you come out and you say, wow, I can't believe I got out in time after 10 years, in time just for my baby to be born.
Read it again.
Yes, it is. Sometimes it takes like, you need to like take time to like read it slowly, and then hopefully as you
Okay.
read it slowly, sound of 7 years might be like 7 days or something, or 7 months. You never know, sister.
It takes,
Okay, I'm reading the line that I've highlighted. Truth, whatever your name is. فإن ارتابت, if she doubts بحمل, about her pregnancy, أقامت 4 أعوام, let her wait for 4 years, أو 5, 5, or 7, أو 7, or 7. So that's the first bit. على اختلاف الروايات عن علمائنا, according to the different narrations of our scholars. That means some scholars say pregnancy can last 4 years, some scholars 5, and some 7. And then the next bit is in the same paragraph, in context, it says, وهو الصحيح, and this is صحيح, as you know from hadith. صحيح means authentic. قال ابن العربي, so Ibn al-Arabi said, this is صحيح, لأنه إذا جاز أن يبقى الولد في بطنها 5 أعوام, because
Wow.
if the child may remain in her abdomen for 5 years, جاز أن يبقى 10, he may remain for 10, وأكثر من ذلك, or more than that. وقد روي عن مالك مثله, and it was narrated from Malik similar to this.
If child stay there for 5 years, let child to stay there 5 more years, free rent.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not sure, just you can go to your scholars, or you can rewind, like just press the rewind button, where we showed a video of a scholar, the top scholar in Egypt. His name is Ali Joma. He's the Grand Mufti of Egypt, saying, yes, this is true.
So 10 years pregnancy.
Yeah.
And according to medical science, if woman is longer, if baby comes, woman gives birth to the baby after like 9 months, that even half of baby is in danger. But what we have is here is baby is there like for 5 years, 10 years. And then I was reading a paper which someone was saying like, it's like a baby's there. It's a dry area, and then soon, like as the time goes on, when womb gets a little bit more water, then life starts there.
Sister, this is complete nonsense. There's no such.
Wow. It's like a dry ground, and when water touch it, then the seeds start growing. That's the only solution for that kind of problem.
Such thing as baby
excuse
lives
me.
for that long.
No, sister, you've got to be careful when you say this is nonsense because because right now you are in my live stream and I might have people knocking my door and then saying because it's been said nonsense, therefore it is hate speech, and then they might take me in.
Oh,
You never
sorry,
know,
sorry.
sister.
It's impossible.
Nonsense. Yes, it is.
It's impossible. There's no such thing. Our biology doesn't allow this. Usually what happens is the woman miscarries, she loses the baby, or she has a stillbirth, which means she gives birth to a dead baby, which is very sad. But no way can she keep a baby alive in her tummy for years and years. It's just not biologically possible. But it is in Islam, and we don't know why that is.
So one of the thing is Islam is based on Quran and Muhammad, and that's not alone. You need Muslim scholars to explain to you this well-detailed Quran and walking Quran Muhammad to unpack Islam and then put together the Islamic law.
Yeah.
And Muslims kind of listen their sheikhs and their imams. Sometimes even they go against the Quran and then they follow their sheikhs and imams. This is one of those occasions.
Yeah.
And then there is Islam QA website, and then someone is curious and then asking the question, how long woman can be pregnant? So just imagine a scene that you've been divorced and you haven't able to remarry after your divorce. It's been like 10 years. You just feel so lonely and alone, all those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly you start feeling that your tummy is getting bigger, getting bigger and getting bigger. It's not because you are eating too much, but it's getting bigger and it's getting bigger. And you just remember, yeah, now I need to figure out what is this. And then you remember 10 years ago you were married and then that guy divorced you. And by that time, that man who divorced you is already married and then set up a new family and new life. You've got to go and
do you see how stupid the religion is? That, you know, what's the purpose of the waiting period? This is how stupid this religion is, and the kind of people that adhere to this religion. This is the mind of the people who adhere to this religion, that you believe such a stupidity to the point where you can believe that a woman can be pregnant for 10 years. You know, just show you how gullible you are and how quick you are to believe things, foolish things. This kind of society that the people have, that Muhammad could go to this place and brainwash these people, like literally brainwash these people and tell them, oh, I'm a prophet, and he would tell them the most ridiculous stories and they believe it. A stone run away with Moses' clothes and all this stupid stuff, and they believe it. He took a donkey, he ride upon a donkey, and he went to heaven, and all this stuff. He passed Moses praying in his grave and all this nonsense. And Solomon was going through the valley of the ants, and the ants saw Solomon and his army coming, and the ants shout, "Run before Solomon and his army! Take cover before Solomon and his army run over you!" And the stupidity of this is like no logic at all, because Solomon must have had what kind of ear is it that Solomon have, that he's coming to a valley with the big army that he had, with jinns and birds and people and chariots and horses and all this big army that he have, and he come into a valley and he could hear her ants talking. Even if her hands could talk, how, you hear all this noise, what kind of speech does the ants made so loud that you could hear the ants talking? Even if it was possible that the ants could talk, ants can talk, because ants don't talk. They communicate by sound and waves and you know, that's what they vibration and stuff. They don't talk. So what vibration did the ants make for Solomon to hear the ant? And it's crazy, man. I don't know what else to say, but this is a stupid religion. And then that's from the Quran. That is from the Quran. That is from the Quran. It is ridiculous how these people believe in this nonsense.
Find that man and then tell that man, Habibi, remember 10 years ago before you divorced me, we had a sex and now I'm carrying your baby.
Wow.
Alongside of your family, you need to now look after me. And then that will be simply solution to her loneliness and her aloneness, all those kind of things.
Yeah, unfortunately,
And
it's
husband has to take you in, ex-husband.
this is again alternate universe. But we find that in Islam it's called Sahih. This stuff, and unfortunately, sister, you can't have Islam without these sources. You can't have Islam without the four main schools of thought: Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali, and Hanafi. Each Sunni Muslim will be following one of them, and all four agree pregnancy can last 4 years, as you will see later, 5, 6, 7, 10, and some have said it's unlimited. You can find out, you can give birth at any time in your life.
After you're divorced or after your husband is died. And no one can accuse you for zina.
Yeah.
No one can accuse you for zina. See how wonderful this are. How, like, I think this is one of the best things Islam offers to the woman.
I think, sister, we were talking about it before the live stream. I think it's because, you know, Muslim men, they used to go out on lots of conquests and lots of wars to spread Islam, jihad, and they used to leave the women behind. They used to come back.
Women felt lonely and alone, and then they went and sleep around with someone else.
Yeah, like they used to leave. Remember, there were no fast transport. They used to leave on foot, etc. So months and years they'd leave them, come back, and all these babies. So they can't stone all these women. They can't stone all of them. So there had to be something in the Sharia to.
Yeah. So what? So do you see the craziness that happened? Is that you know, to take shame out of their eyes, because they're out there capturing women and having sex and even impregnating women. When they came out, the karma returned to them, so they have to invent and they have to follow whatever is said. Even Aisha, if Aisha could have been pregnant, she would have been pregnant too, because Aisha believed the philosophy. If you watch the video, you will see where Aisha actually endorsed the philosophy. Aisha believed that you could be pregnant for 2.5 years. You know, a baby Aisha grow up and start teaching the stupidity. You know, she know how to manipulate, because she realized that Muhammad was a manipulator, and she learned from the best of them. Because Aisha, even as young as she was, could tell Muhammad that it seems as if your Lord hastened to fulfill your desire. You know, she could see that Muhammad was a 419, but she play along with it, because, you know, in any deviant society, you know, you will have a woman knowing that her husband is a drug kingpin, but she play along with it because she's getting her returns. And that's what Aisha was doing. Aisha was wise enough, you know, in a foolish way, wise enough in a foolish way, if you guys understand what I'm trying to say, to know that, hey, this is my money, this is my I'm living higher standard than anybody else, so why not? Aisha says she have never seen anyone suffer as much as they believe in women, and she was living in a little higher standard than they do, because everybody was running around kissing up to her and doing all this stuff to her. So she said, hey, if I lose this status, guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna be like a outcast, so why not play along, even though I know that Muhammad was a fraud. And Muhammad's uncle too, They know Muhammad was a fraud. He said to Muhammad, "You are nothing but my father's slave." He said to Muhammad that Muhammad was nothing but his father's slave. So you know Muhammad was a fraud, but they play along with the game. That's Hamza. Hamza told Muhammad, "You're nothing but my father's slave." You play along with the game, live the life, because what? When the loot come in and when the booty come in, we live the highest life from it, because it's a deviant and wicked society. You know, and that's what happened in deviant and wicked society, where even you have some deviant and wicked social culture within a greater culture, you know, where you have the mother know that her son is a drug dealer, but she take money from him and she do all this stuff, and everybody live big and large, knowing that the boy's life is on the ledge, and he is also putting other people's life on the ledge by selling them drugs, and putting their children life on the ledge by selling a mother drugs and a father drugs, you know, turning them into addict. So Muhammad, you know, this is society. When I read into Islam and I see what's going on, that's what I get from Islam. That the people were uneducated, stupid. That was around Muhammad. They were stupid, uneducated people. And if you notice the drug dealers in today's society, because it was similar in a sense the way Muhammad was living. Because if you look at what Muhammad was doing, he was robbing people. He's like a mob, you know, a thug, you know, robbing people and exploiting people under a scam, and exploiting women. You see that culture within certain societies today, just like and you can tell some of them that they're doing something wrong. They point their finger and everybody else but themselves. The white man do this, the white man do this, we don't invent the drugs. How did the drugs, if it's a black community, they say the white man do this. If it's a white community, they says, we didn't invent the drugs. How did the drugs come here? The man. They said the man. They have somebody to blame. Like, how did we get this? They put it in our communities. Is, you know, any community you go to with a deviant mind, they're pointing finger elsewhere. That's like Muhammad was pointing finger at the Jews, blaming them for the wickedness he was doing to them. You know, it was just a wicked, deviant society, the way you see it. And the people were very uneducated to the point where they could be controlled by small talk and unintelligent things that are not intelligent, like, oh, a woman could be pregnant for 10 years. For real? You're around animal, and you know the season, because even animal have a season for when they get, and you could tell how long an animal is pregnant, but you believe that a woman could be pregnant for 10 years. When you know that an animal, like, for example, I would say a camel, I never look it up, but for me, I believe that a camel is pregnant for, the most I believe a camel is pregnant for, I would say about 13 months. That's for me. I don't know, but for me, not knowing, I would say a camel is pregnant for about 13 months. So if I put how long is a camel pregnant for, I'm thinking I'm gonna get about 13 months. That's what I believe. It says the Bactrian camel 13 months, and the dromedary camel 15 months. So you see, you know, that's, you know, you could just tell, because, you know, it's around about the same as let me see before I say something. They'll be like, oh, you don't even know that. I think that, you know, remember my father had cattle, and I remember Okay, so they're pregnant for about 10 months. So it lasts around about the same human pregnancy. I don't know why I thought it would be a little bit longer. I thought it would be about a year or something like that. But, you know, it's roundabout. Yeah, think about it. Roundabout. But boy, to think that a woman would be pregnant for 10 years, this is how gullible the society that these people grow up in. So an Asian elephant will be pregnant for 18 to 22 months. So I got that one wrong. And an African bush elephant for 22 months. So I did get that one wrong. I thought it was for 15, but it's 18 to 22 months. So wow. Not even an elephant is not even pregnant for 2 years, but a woman will be pregnant for 9 and 10 years. Do you see? What a beautiful religion, man. Man, that religion is so beautiful. You could cut it up and make a dress out of it, and you know, and when you're going on vacation, your wife could wear it on vacation. Beautiful to make a shirt out of it, and going to Hawaii, you wear it. Man, this religion, man, religion of donkey, man.
Not say it.
So, let me see if this is practically possible, because I've got some, I might have some internet issues, but let's see if it is practically possible or not. So this is Islam QA website. Okay, anyone who's got a little bit Arabic should be able to put this together. Islam QA website. It's in Arabic. Okay, we will need to remember to put the link in the description for you to go and check it out. And we translated this page for you. Let me put the translated page for us, and then we will just go through the translated page. I am sure Muslims wouldn't have any problem for us to use the translation, because if you look at Arabic and if you look at the translation, it is still awful. It is still awful. So,
yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, this is the translation of the Islam QA, which I just showed it on the screen. Daughter of Christ, do you want to just go through this for us quickly?
Yeah, so the question was posed and answered in 2009, November. Questioner asks, what is the longest time a woman can remain pregnant? I would like to know the longest duration of pregnancy, as I read the fatwa number 120178. And because of that fatwa, a discussion occurred between myself and my dad. My dad is an expert in pregnancy. He works as a doctor in diagnostic radiology. And he says that kind of pregnancy is impossible medically, and that if it occurred beforehand, it was something he strongly denied was possible.
Wow. And his father is a Muslim? Man, can you imagine this? That you're a doctor and you see this, you're in a religion teaching this donkeyness, and you don't realize that it's time to gallop out. It's time to put your tail eye in the sky and gallop in, and gallop like Satan gallop. You know, when Satan hear the call of prayer, or Satan gallop and fart, you should be gallop. You should be galloping and farting away from this religion. Or you're a doctor.
Possible. It probably was not a real pregnancy, but a pseudo pregnancy or a false pregnancy.
Oh yeah, I forget that. A pseudo pregnancy. A pseudo pregnancy is a false pregnancy where a person believes that they're pregnant because they have all the symptoms of pregnancy, every symptom of pregnancy, but there is no true pregnancy. There's no baby, but they have all the symptoms, everything, and all the signs, all the symptoms of pregnancy. The night problem, the motion sickness, the this, the this, the that, the enlargement of the abdomen, the enlargement of the abdomen area. You have all that, but you're not pregnant.
Father quoted the verse, the period of pregnancy and weaning is 30 months. That's Surah 46, verse 15. He also cited a lot of medical evidence that prevents that kind of long duration of pregnancy. And he says this opened the door to attach a child to a man who is not his father. What came in the fatwa was the speech of the scholars, may Allah have mercy on all of them, except that they did not quote any hadith except the hadith of the child is the beds, which is a long hadith, where Muhammad said that the child belongs to the person who committed the adultery. In this, the duration of pregnancy was not mentioned, which would have clarified the issue. Please kindly give us a fatwa. Is there a contradiction between the religion and science, despite the Quran specified 2 years and 6 months as maximum time for pregnancy and breastfeeding? So that was the question, sister.
That looks normal question. So person is having problem with acknowledging that her father or his father is in the area of medicine and says actually it's against the medical science for a woman to be pregnant for long time. Can you please, we don't have anywhere else, dear scholars, dear experts, please tell us, how long can woman be pregnant?
Praise be to Allah, they say. First, the issue of the longest time for a woman's pregnancy is the subject of disagreement between the scholars of law, Sharia.
Okay.
They disagree, they don't know. And there is not much
they,
disagreement between the doctors.
Okay, so medical science is very clear, but in somehow scholars are not very clear how long woman can be pregnant.
Yeah, so doctors know because the whole of humanity knows. Everybody knows. But when it comes to Islam, they're like, oh, wait, let's disagree on even the simplest things.
Okay.
Because this is Islam system. As for the scholars of the Sharia, they disagreed upon the longest time a woman can remain pregnant.
So here's the views on how long woman can be pregnant, okay? How long? Longest time. Sorry, not how long. Longest time. Let's go through the list, sister.
Number one, the longest time for pregnancy is the usual time, 9 months, as was said by Al-Zahiri Madhab. 2, the longest time for pregnancy, 1 year, as was said by Muhammad ibn Abd al-Hakam. And that was chosen by Ibn Rushd, 2, 1 year. 2 years, according to the Hanafiya Madhab, school of thought.
Okay, so now we've got 9 months, like everyone in this world.
In the world.
Yeah, in the world. Like you can be pregnant for 9 months. Or second option is 1 year. Or third option is 2 years. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah. You got 3 years, said by Al-Layth ibn Sa'd.
Okay.
You got 4 years, which is the Shafi'iyya madhab. That's where, you remember that Sheikh we played, sister? That's where a lot of people in Egypt have follow that school of thought. Yeah. Also the Hanbalis, and the more well-known view of the 2 views of the Malikiyya, the Maliki madhab, school of thought, they say 4 years also. So that's 3 out of the 4 schools of thought of Islam say 4 years is the maximum.
Wow.
5 years narrated by Imam Malik himself. 6 years by Zuhri and Malik. 7 years, which is Rabi'iyya spoke of, which is the correct view according to them. Also, another narration from Al-Zuhri and Malik agree that it could be up to 7 years. No limit. Is the statement
no limit pregnancy. Wow. Unlimited. You know, in America, for the people who don't live in America, you got your cell phone and you have different option of payment, you know, unlimited data, where you get unlimited data. Don't care what you do, you cannot complete your data. You know, in like Jamaica and Africa and some of these other countries in the world, you go and pay for data. You will pay for a month, or pay for a certain period of time. I don't know exactly how it's done because I've never done it, but you pay that way. In America, when you pay, in most cases, it's unlimited data where you can do whatever you feel like doing and you never run out. This is unlimited pregnancy, man. Unlimited. That even when you're dead, you're still pregnant. You're dead of a natural cause, but guess what? You die in child with a pregnancy. You're dead. You live and you're old, like 90 years old, 95 years old, and death come upon you because your body changes and it's time to die, and you're still pregnant. So you got an old baby. So you got pregnant when you were 25 years old. And now you're 96 years old. You got a 71-year-old baby in your belly. Gray, like with a gray beard. You got a baby with a gray beard in your belly, man. What a catastrophe. Oh boy. And people become a part of this religion. What a religion, man. It's man. This religion right here, man, if you could sell this religion, you'll be rich. They could make a movie from this religion. This religion is not very serious. It's like a Hollywood comedy.
Of Abi Ubaid and Shokani was also said by the contemporaries Sheikh Al-Shanqiti and Ibn Baz and Al-Uthaymeen.
Okay, so
did he say Ibn
I
Baz?
think this is one of the moments I'm grateful I'm from Hanafi school because they are like.
You used to be Hanafi.
Yeah, they seem more reasonable, sister. Come on, they used to be like 2 years more reasonable than Hanbalis
Wow.
and Maliks and Shafis. Okay, so that's a good thing. So,
a lot of Muslims in the UK, this from Pakistan and Bangladesh, they are from the Hanafi school
yeah,
of thought.
I know.
Pakistani, no wonder they're so crazy when it comes to the Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar! They're ready to come, you know. When it comes to the Allah Akbar, man, they have the chain, the Dawa donkeys, man. Like Uthman. Uthman, it must be Pakistani. The way he's so extreme, he gotta be, man. I bet if you research which country is Ibn Uthman Farouk from. So let's see. Which, I'm sure he's a Pakistani, man. He's so extreme. That donkey must be a Pakistani. Coutry is Uthman Ibn Farouk from, let's see, Uthman Ibn Farouk. Don't mess with the Uthman Ibn Farouk. Yeah, man. Uthman Ibn Farouk is from Islamabad, Pakistan, born in Islamabad, migrated to the USA. Yeah. And then he came to the USA and he settled in LA because he know that one day he was going to put ketchup on his belly.
You guys, you're also in this years and years. And where I come from, sister, my country of origin, a lot of them are Shafi'is.
Yeah.
4 years for them.
Yeah, so what we have is, let's just put this in perspective. Okay, it needs to make sense. It needs to make sense now. And it's all gonna make sense. How long woman can be pregnant? There are disagreements, okay? But here's the general view. Person can be pregnant for 9 months, okay? Or a year, that's 12 months, or 2 years, or 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years, or 6 years, or 7 years, or no limit.
Eternity. Even when you are in hellfire, man. Even when you go to Allah's hell. Even when you go to Allah's hell, man, you could still be pregnant in there, giving birth while you're being burning. I don't know how is that gonna work out? That you have a 5-year-old baby in your belly, and you're going to and you deserve to go to hell. Does the baby go with you? And does Allah do a C-section? Allah do a C-section and cut out the baby? Does Allah do a C-section and cut out? I don't know. I really want to know. I would want to know if Allah do a C-section. Does he do a C-section and cut out you know what Allah do? Let me tell you what Allah do, man. I know what Allah do. You know, the other day, Allah called me on my cell phone. He said, ring, ring, like a bell, and call me. And Allah said, I'm going to send them to the Mayo Clinic and have them do a C-section on a C-section on all the people who are pregnant. They're going to do a C-section. All the ones who babies are born to were in the father's loin and created for hell, they will stay. But all the ones whose baby were not created for hell while they were yet in their father's loin, I will get the doctors from the Mayo Clinic, like Dr. Mohammed Jaffa and Dr. Salib Khalib and Dr. Muta and Dr. Muta, and we'll have them do C-sections, and then when the babies are born, we turn their mothers into hyena covered with poop, and then we throw them into hellfire, and then we will take the babies to Jannah, and we will let the Oraline breastfeed them. The Oraline, they have unlimited breast milk, and man, now listen, look at this right here. I think we have done enough on that. So before we wrap it up, we are going to show you guys something. This is beautiful, man. This is the most beautiful things I ever seen. Look at this guy right here. This is a Muslim. This Muslim guy, he realized that something is wrong. He knows something is wrong with the Quran and the God of the Quran, because he can't bite. This guy cannot bite, man. He cannot bite. So this is from Light of the Nation. I always tell you, go and support the brother's channel. Thank you guys if you can support it by subscribing to his channel. So I put the link in there, and we are gonna read a little story. I'm gonna read a little story from that channel for you guys. Light of the Nation. Let me put the link to the brother's channel here, and look what the brother have for us today. It's a beautiful story. It was written by a Hollywood actor. I'm just joking right there. But anyway, let's look at this story. This story is funny. So it started, a day he killed a person, and the next day he had adultery. So he said, a day he kills a person, and next day he had adultery. Who is he talking about? Who do you think he's talking about? Let's look at it. Not only this. So he said, a day he kills a person, and the next day he had adultery. He said, not only this. Not only prophets are unjust, but Allah himself is unjust. Listen to what the man is saying. He said, not only the prophets are unjust, but Allah himself is unjust. Watch this.
الله الموجود بالقرآن يعني على
Allah who exists in the Quran. He's talking about Allah who exists in the Quran, because he don't believe the Allah in the Quran, because the Allah in the Quran is too stupid for his intelligence. The Allah in the Quran is too stupid for his intelligence. Can you imagine this? The man says, if Allah let him go, he don't believe in this Allah.
مول واحد قتل بعيرة شنو قيمة
He said, for a person kill a camel, one camel. He said, a person kill a camel, one camel, and look what Allah is going to do to him.
البعيرة واحد قتل
What's the value of the camel? So the man is saying that a person kill a camel, one camel, and what is the value of the camel?
قوم كامل سحقهم سحق
He demolished a full nation. Allah demolished a full nation as if he attacked them by chemical weapons. He said Allah demolished a full nation, a whole entire nation, as if he attacked them by chemical weapons.
ضربهم بالقنابل الكيميائية مثل حلب شو سواه
Like what I done in Alab.
زين هم انت تقول
You said it had 9 persons doing corruption in the land. You said it had 9 persons doing corruption in the land. So 9 persons was in the land doing corruption, according to this man. And I think he's talking about the story of Sally Camel. Sally Camel. That story is very, very funny story. Did you guys know that there was a story where a rock gave birth to a camel? So the rock split open and out of it come a pregnant camel. I wonder how long the camel was pregnant for. Literally, I will show you guys. If I will search for it and find it. I think I might have it in my thing. I will put it up and see if I could pull it up. So this camel, a rock, because you know Muslims, they worship stone. It's a stone worship, a pagan religion of stone worship, way from back in the days. You know, as I could show you, I show you guys that they used to worship stone. At the beginning of this video, you see where I established these things. And the reason behind it is this. Everything I do is for a purpose. So they used to worship stone. So here it is where a stone, a huge stone, gave birth to a camel. And the camel was pregnant. So it gave birth to a pregnant camel. But I was wondering, how long was the stone, the camel being pregnant inside the stone before the stone gave birth to the camel? Let's continue.
كان فيها 9 رهط يفسدون في الأرض واحد من عندهم قتل أصابه
One of them killed a gang.
أصابه قوم صالح أصابه أجت جوعانين دول
A gang came hungry. So one of them killed. A gang came hungry. I don't know what that is trying to say here.
أصاب شيء قال هذا بعير هذا ما له أحد وهذا صاحبه نايم.
They said this camel has no owner, and the prophet Salih, yes, see, he's talking about Salih's camel, is sleeping. So, he's saying that a gang of people came along and they were hungry. They were hungry. So the people were hungry, and the people killed the camel because it says it has no owner and the prophet Salih is sleeping. So they kill it because they were hungry. And look what happened to them.
النبي صالح قال خلنا نذبحها وناكل ونعدها
Let's slaughter it and eat it.
ونشبع بطوننا والله كريم.
Allah the generous,
هم ذبحوها
and couldn't Allah kill them only? So 9 people killed the camel, according to the Muslim man here. 9 people killed the camel because they were hungry people. They were hungry. And he's asking the question, couldn't Allah just kill the 9 people who killed the camel? Look what he's saying now.
زين الله هو ما يقدر يقتلهم نفسهم دول مجرمين قتلهم يصير ليش لا حد
He said, those criminal, but why you follow the kids? I think he mean why you kill the kids. Those criminal, but why you kill the kids? I think that's what he mean.
الأطفال والنساء الأطفال نايمين.
And women, in the morning, he flipped upside down. He said the children and the women in the morning, if Allah flipped upside down.
الصبح وإذا به شالها من جو وقع وقلبها على الطعنة.
So he's saying, why did Allah kill the kids? So let's see if I could find that for you guys. Sally's camel. It actually is a rock that gave birth to the camel. So LSSAL. Okay, so I didn't have it in my stuff. So let's see right here. Let me find it here. Sally. SALEH camel. CAMELROCK. Okay. So here we go. Let's go on this journey, all of us together. Let's see where it takes us. We're gonna go on this journey, all of us together. It's gonna be a rocky journey because the ocean is very, very, very rough today. Tidal wave on the ocean. Let's follow the ocean and see if we can get to Jamaica before the boat capsized. So the rock from which the camel came from Google sites. So that's it. The rock from which the camel came. And let's see if we could find a better site. Prince of She-Camel of Sally. Prince of the She-Camel. Do you see this? The rock all 14 camel hoof. Hoof shape print. So somebody is saying that there's a rock in the world that has 14. Why 14, brother? The Christian prince would say that. So the rock owes 14 camel hoof shape print supposed to have been left by the she-camel of Sally, and 2 marks apparently made by Sally's rod. Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful religion. Yeah. Okay. So which one should we hit on? I think we should try this one right here. I think it says www.christies.com. It says the prophet Sally bringing forth the she-camel from a rock. So bringing it forth, man. So the rock was pregnant and gave birth to a camel. Giving birth to a camel. Let's try another site. Too much going on over there. Oh, here we go. This one sounds cool. All right. So let's read this story. What a beautiful story of a she-camel. It was not a e-camel. It was a she-camel. And the she-camel. Okay, so let's start. It says, the prophet Sally's people demand a miracle. So the people demand a miracle. Let's read it. They merely wanted to worship the same gods as their fathers had, with no reason, no proof, no thought. The proof of Sally's message was evident, but despite this, it was obvious that most of the people did not believe him. They doubt his words, thinking he was charmed meaning he was voodooed, he was bewitched, like Prophet Muhammad was bewitched, according to Bukhari 31:75. And they saw that he would not stop preaching, fearing that his followers would increase. They tried to put him off by assigning him an important task. An important task. Wow. All right, impossible task. Is that what you want to say? All right, important task. Always so important. To prove that he was messenger of Allah by performing a miracle. Let a unique, look at the miracle. Wow. Let a unique she camel issue from the mountains. So they say, let a unique she camel issue from the mountain. Allah granted Sally the miracle, and a huge, unique she camel appear from the direction of the mountain. If you ever notice what they say here, from the direction of the mountain, literally, the she camel came from a rock, a stone. And this is why when we were reading earlier, you see the rock and this and this and that. So listen, the Quranic commentator said that the people of Thamud gathered on a certain day at their meeting place, and the Prophet Salih came and addressed them to believe in Allah, reminding them of the favors Allah had granted them. Then pointing to a rock, do you see that? A stone. I'm so stoned. That's why I say a stone give birth to a rock, to a camel. Can a stone give birth to a camel? Listen to this. They demand, ask your Lord to make a she camel, which must be 10 months pregnant. Wow. So it was 10 months pregnant. At least it was not 10 years pregnant. Tall and attractive. Wow. Tall, attractive camel. Issued from the rock for us. So come out of the rock, you camel. Salih replied, look now, if Allah sends you what you have requested, just as you have described, will you believe in that which have come to you? Will you believe in that which I have come to you with, and have faith in the message I have been sent with? They answered yes. So he took a vow from them on this, then prayed to Allah, the Mighty, to grant their request. Allah ordered the distant rock to split asunder, become two in number, and out of it came, bringing forth a great 10-month pregnant she camel. Oh wow, 10 months, the she camel inside of a rock. When they set eyes on it, they were amazed. They saw a great thing, a wonderful sight, dazzling power, clear evidence. Wow, what a story. A number of Salih's people believe, yet most of them continue in their disbelief, stubbornness, and going astray. Allah the Almighty said, and we sent the she camel to Thamud as a clear sign, but they did her wrong. So they did the camel wrong. Quran 17, verse 59, also. And verily the dweller of Al-Ijar, the rocky track, denied the messengers, and we gave them our sign, but they were averse to them. Quran 15, 80 to 81. Do you see that? All in the Quran. All in the Quran. He don't give the whole thing, because What about when they kill the where is it? Come on, man. Come on, man. You're gonna tell part of the story? Is that how you're gonna do it? Come on, man. What is going on? You don't want to tell the old story? This guy don't like to tell story. I could tell that he doesn't like to tell story. I don't know why he don't like to tell story, but the next time we see him, we're going to ask him, why don't you like to tell story? Because it was getting beautiful at that point. So this is my Islam, the story of Prophet Saleh. So let's come back from where we finish. No. L to the no, brother. They were given a chance by Allah to turn back to him. So we already see that part. Let's see. Prophet Salih admonished his people, "O my people, worship Allah and have no deity. So we already see that part. Salih continued to urge the people. We see that. As the day passed, the Talmud fear that Prophet Salih followers were increased. Similar. I hope it's not the same. Salih was desperate to bring his people to the path of Allah. So he pleaded with Allah to grant him what the people had asked. That looked like the same one. Oh, look at Salih camel. Man, came from out of a rock. That's not a beautiful camel. I thought it was a beautiful camel. Oh, man. I've seen a yellow camel before. Oh, my people, this is the she camel of Allah. So listen to what happened. So the narration believes that the camel did not have a miraculous birth and dispute that the camel came from a rock. So you see the camel came from a rock. The Quran simply states, "Oh my people, this is the she camel of Allah. She is to you a sign, so let her feed upon Allah's earth and do not touch her with arm. So you will be taken our impending punishment." The she camel was indeed a living miracle that each passing day people converted to Islam. The believers could not bear this. Eventually, the hatred of Salih was diverted towards the she camel. Salih feared that the disbelievers would conspire against the she camel and warned them, "Oh my people, this she camel of Allah is assigned to you. Leave her to feed on Allah's earth and touch her not with evil, lest a near torment will seize you." The Talmud initially allowed the she camel to graze on their land and drink freely from the common well, but this was short-lived. It wasn't long before Talmud became disgruntled. The believers found their faith in increasing, while the disbelievers' hatred intensified to a degree where they began plotting to kill the camel. With the support of all the disbelievers in the town, 9 men set out aiming to kill the she camel. They watched her closely as she approached the drink from the well. As she approached to drink from the well, one of the men shot her in the leg, thereby hindering her from escape. The others immediately sprang forward and put a sword through her body, killing her. So they killed the miraculous camel. The town people saw this as a clear victory and cheered loudly for the men. They went on to slaughter the she camel and eat her meat. Wow. So you saw a camel came out of a rock and you slaughter it and eat it? When Salih heard of this, he hurried to warn the people, but it was too late. The people mocked him, saying, "O Sally, bring us what you promised us, if you would be of the messenger." Sally replied, "Enjoy yourself in your homes for 3 days. That is a promise that will not be denied." The disbeliever taunted Sally and asked him to hasten to the punishment. Prophet Sally said, "O my people, why are you impatient for evil instead of good? Why do you not seek forgiveness of Allah that you may receive mercy?" The people paid no heed. They were only infuriated and began plotting to kill Prophet Salih. The 9 men gathered together and discussed, "Take a mutual oath by Allah that we will kill him by night, he and his family. Then we will say to his executor, we did not witness the destruction of his family, and indeed we are truthful." Wow. Meanwhile, Allah have a plan for the people of Thamud. And they plan a plan, and we plan a plan while they perceive not. So they have a deception, and Allah have his own deception. So he instructed Sally to gather his followers and leave town. The people were only too happy to be rid of him. They were unperturbed by Sally's warning. The Thamud possessed excellent craftsmanship, that they had carved their houses out of the dense rock of the mountain. This made them feel secure. They believed that their rock fortresses would protect them from all disaster. 3 days after Sally's warning, thunderbolt filled the air, followed by a severe earthquake, which destroyed the entire tribe and its homeland. The land was violently shaken, destroying all the living creatures in it. There was one terrific cry which had been hardly ended when the disbelievers of Salih people were struck dead, and one and all at the same time. But there is another narration that says the camel actually speak. Yeah, there is a narration that says the camel could speak. And the baby camel could speak too. Neither their strong building nor their rocks hewn homes could protect them. So that is Salih Camel. So this is the depiction. Wow. So that is the story. But actually the camel, there's a story that says the camel could talk. The camel could speak. The camel said to the baby camel, "Come, let us go and hide before they kill us." Anyway, my people, that is the story of Sally's camel. And what I say, peace out and God bless you all, and thank you guys for coming out, and thank you guys for 4 years in the womb, the miracle of ignorance. So Anuk said, "I'm a brother." Oh, okay. So Do you see the nonsense of Islam? So anyway, my people, God bless you all, man. And thank you for coming out. We have shown the stupidity of Islam and the stupidity of another Dawa donkey. And this is what we are in the business of doing, spreading the nonsense of Islam while trying to liberate the Muslims and spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, the good news. So I want to say all praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And as far as I am concerned, Islam is nothing but foolishness, total nonsense. And as I always say, when you walk out there, keep it 100% Jesus, because if you live, you're okay, and if you die, you're okay. So keep it 100% Jesus. And by my people and all the people living in the United States of America, I wish you guys happy Thanksgiving, you know, and remember, it's a time to give thanks, not just a time to eat and be merry, but a time to give thanks to God Almighty, regardless of how this day come about. You can use the day to give God Almighty the utmost thanks that he deserves for all that he have done for you throughout the years that passed, you know, and so from one November to another November. So I want to say, man, keep it real, keep it Jesus, and stay away from Islam.